Jumps off the page at me is the offensive numbers that he was able to put up over his career at William & Mary, playing the most demanding position on the field as a shortstop. He put up power numbers more associated with a corner infielder, a third baseman, or a first baseman, but he was doing this playing shortstop every day for the Tribe, and I think that is just, it speaks volumes to what type of player he really was. Brendan, he gives us that opportunity. He's one of the many guys that we have that give us that opportunity of sharing that sense of pride and really puts William & Mary baseball on the map. I mean, it's pretty cool to have a kid be talking to you on the phone and maybe doesn't know that much about William & Mary baseball, and then can say, hey, turn on your TV, here's what you need to know. And Brendan allows us to do that. We continuously try to bring in players that have professional baseball aspirations. I mean, if they don't have them, they probably don't belong here in this baseball program. That said, for me, the easiest path to the next level is when your team does well. And so, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm sure, you know, Brendan was going to go on to play professional baseball regardless because he's that talented of a player. But it definitely helps when your team does so well. It opens up scouts' eyes to say, hey, this isn't just a coincidence. These guys are good. And not only Brendan, but some of his teammates were able to go on to pro ball as well. And so, yeah, I think they go hand in hand. And Brendan, you know, definitely benefited from being on a good team. You know, I remember in the playoff series with the Yankees a few years back when he was with the Twins, just feeling that sense of pride. I started making recruiting phone calls that night while the game was going on to some of our top recruits, just to say, hey, you're watching the Twins-Yankees game right now? That guy playing third base for the Twins is a William & Mary alumnus. And so it's an enormous sense of pride that you have. And Brendan is a tremendous ambassador for William & Mary baseball. He hasn't forgotten his roots. He hasn't forgotten where he's come from.
Good evening. My apologies for not attending the dinner in person, as I'm here in Arizona, finishing up spring training with the Rockies. I'd like to thank my wife and my family for attending on my behalf. I hope they're having a wonderful weekend down in Williamsburg. It's an honor and privilege to be inducted into the William & Mary Athletic Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank the college, the athletic department, Terry Driscoll, and everyone involved for this tremendous honor. I'd also like to thank my fellow inductees for their accomplishments on and off the field, as well as being great ambassadors for the green and gold. I arrived on campus in the fall of 1998 on a partial athletic and partial ROTC scholarship. Far from a blue chip recruit, I had no offers from ACC or SEC schools, something I look back on now as a blessing. I chose William & Mary not only for its obvious phenomenal academic reputation and a climate I consider tropical coming from upstate New York, but even at 18 years old, as far off as pro ball and the major leagues were, making the big leagues was always a dream of mine and something I wasn't going to let go. And William & Mary had a beautiful new facility, great coaching staff, and an environment on campus, no matter who you were, it was structured so that if you worked hard enough, you put the time in, you had unlimited potential. I was fortunate enough to play in the inaugural season of Mary Park, one of the nicest baseball facilities on the East Coast. We had some great battles out there and some very fond memories. I saw the park's opening day, and in my 3 years, it was special to watch the program grow from the bottom of the CAA to an NCAA tournament team my junior year. Although it was a quick exit from the Clemson Regional, it was a great run and something none of us will ever soon forget. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge and thank my coaches and teammates for their help and support in my development as a baseball player and for their influences in my life. The friendships, camaraderie, great times on and off the field always seem to stay with you more than the individual wins and losses ever will. One of my enduring memories, besides celebrating our 2001 title, was that our standard operating procedure, win or lose, whether you were the starting shortstop or bullpen catcher, is that we were all full-time members of the grounds crew. After every game, you grabbed the rake or you helped pull the tarp. For some reason, with all the William & Mary students and graduates that we had among us, we could never seem to pull that tarp in under 30 minutes. All in an effort to keep Mary Park the crown jewel that it is. As I said, I wouldn't have got to this point without a lot of help along the way. My coaches Jim Farr, Ryan Wheeler, Marlon Eichenberry, and Jason Johnson all brought something different to the table that helped me not only in college, but in pro ball as well. The greatest influence in my life and baseball career has always been my father. He's been from T-ball to pro ball, he's always been my full-time hitting coach. And even as this airs, we'll be 9 to 10 games into our season. So there's a good chance that he just sent me a text message telling me to keep my hands back and get a good pitch to hit tonight. But through ups and downs, he's always been there, and it's meant the world to me. One thing I've always appreciated about my time at William & Mary is from that the day you step on campus freshman year, nothing's ever given to you. From the classroom to the field, everything had to be earned. I think every Tribe student-athlete has their own story of pumping out a 15-page paper or taking an exhausting exam, and then later in the day showing up at the field ready to answer the bell. I feel like after navigating these crisis management test runs, you learn not to panic in packed stadiums and when people are throwing nasty sliders at you. I'm coming up on 10 years since I've left the hallowed grounds of Williamsburg, but since I've left, I've never felt that William & Mary has left me. I still have professors and coaches that email me and wish me the best. I recently got married, and half my guest list and half my groomsmen were former Tribe teammates and classmates. As much as I travel, I've seen firsthand what an amazing network of alumni we have across the country, and it's always an easy conversation starter and a quick common bond. In closing, again, I'd like to thank the college and the athletic department for this tremendous honor. Many thanks to my family for all their support, and last but not least, my wife, my amazing, beautiful wife, for making me a better person every day that I'm with her. I'm proud just to be an alumnus of such a wonderful institution, and humbled to be included among so many great athletes and distinguished peers. I thank you again and look forward to supporting the next generation of Tribe student athletes.